Obviously, you got about the biggest fight possible coming up in your weight class, right? Volkanovski, Topuria for the UFC Featherweight Championship, UFC 298. You know, I've spoken to a few UFC featherweights, spoken to fans, pundits, whatever you name it. A lot of people, the common thing here is that Volkanovski's coming back too quick. What do you think of the fight? And do you think Volkanovski comes back too quick? Is he, is the return a little soon?
I don't know, man. Everybody heals up differently, and I
He
think
fought in
Volk is,
October, just for reference.
yeah, I think Volk is, he's a smart dude, and I think that October to February, I don't know, man. That's kind of close, but
Hmm.
he knows his body than better than a lot of people, and I think that once you're the champ, you have that pressure to like perform every time and everything, but you also have a good group of guys that they want to see you stay in that championship status. So his coaches, I'm sure, are around him and telling him, you're not ready until this date, or you're not ready till this date. And if you take 6 to 8 weeks and just kind of relax and really rest your body, you can get past that. And so as long as he's mentally past everything, then I think he'll be physically. I think he'll be good. Ilya's a tough ass dude, so it's a tough matchup. And um, I'm really not sure. Honestly, I could see that fight playing out to where it would be a tough fight for him. But um,
Yeah.
you know, he's been in there with some of the best guys and he's done some crazy things. So I feel like he wins that fight, but I think that you could question and say that it was too soon for sure. But you're only gonna say that if he loses. If he wins, then you
Very
won't say
true.
a
Yeah.
word about it too soon. That's how it is. People will find, even if it's not the person that's looking for an excuse, like people will find excuses for that loss or whatever, and they'll say that it was too soon and whatever. But if he wins, no one's gonna say another word about it. So who knows?
Yeah, absolutely right. If he wins, everyone's going to forget all about it. That's true. But I am curious as a fighter, right? As a UFC fighter yourself, when you're in a position like that, like who gets I mean, I guess it depends on the team and the camp, right? But who tends to get the final say? Like, would you think Volkanovski got the last say on whether he's going to be able to fight, or does he have to run it by his coaches and his coaches have to give the okay? Do you think? And of course, everything's
I think
different, right? But what do you think?
I think when you put as much trust in working with a coach or whatever, if they tell you something, like what's true and what's not. Like even if you want something really bad and it's not the best move for you, and you have someone telling you that, you're gonna know in the back of your head that you're not ready for it. And I think that's what will slow someone down from taking a fight when they shouldn't be. So I think they probably saw that he was good. He probably felt like he was good, so they made the call to go in. So I think if they were in the middle of camp in January or in December and he was getting like hurt in practice or he was like not looking good in practice, they would have figured out a way to pull out of that fight and to do it in a way where it wouldn't look bad. And no one would have second guessed him. So he would have had nothing to lose if he would have just said, "Hey, I need more time," or "I'm injured," or whatever. Then no one would have questioned that. So if he really needed an excuse to get out of a fight, he could have used it. And so I think if he was not looking good and if he wasn't ready, then I think that he would be pulled out by now.
There's like a month left until the fight. Someone who's very familiar with how camps are structured. Is there still time left in his camp to where a situation like that could pop up and his coaches say, "All right, you're not ready," or do you think it's been so long now and his camp has been going on for so long that they would have already, monitored and detected something like that?
They would have already detected it for sure. And I
Is
think
he even
that would,
sparring still? Like, is it Volkanovski's? Are those guys still sparring like a month out still? Or yeah, right?
oh yeah, yeah, like
Like
two
a couple
weeks
more
out.
weeks?
Yeah, two weeks out, you're doing your hardest rounds, 2 weeks out. So,
Yeah.
it's just you gotta be around smart training partners, and you gotta be around a coach that actually, gives a shit about you. So not just the paydays.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure as a fellow coach, you could speak to that. You also faced Ilya back in 2020. When you stepped away from that fight, did you think like, man, this dude could be a world champ? Like, is his rise surprising to you?
Um, no, it's not surprising me at all. I when I fought him, I was surprised of the style he fought me because I when I looked him up, he was before he had nothing online, and like it was literally like he had nothing. I had nothing to watch except for like one fight from
That could
like
be tough.
2 years before that. And so I had no way to really game plan for what he was. And everything that I saw and like looked up, he was just a grappler. So I
Mhm.
was expecting that whole camp. I was wrestling so heavy, grappling, doing everything, ready to go for that. And then he had a hard level change, and I dropped my hands for the defense, for takedown defense, and he caught me, man. And then he caught me the body shot, and then went back up top. And I was super confused on his style. I did not think he was going to be that guy. So, but no, I'm not surprised. After the next fight, he had another good performance, and then I was like, oh, this kid's good, and then he just kept winning. So when he beat Bryce Mitchell, that was kind of like, yeah, this dude's he's good.